Hi friends, today we are going to study about plants. Plants are one of the life form present on the earth. Plants comes under three categories. They are herbs, shrubs and trees. We know different organisms have different body parts or organs. Like that, plant body also consists of 6 parts: root, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits and seeds. These 6 plant parts perform different functions. Root absorbs water and minerals from the soil. It also fixes the plant in the ground. Stems help in carrying the water and minerals from the roots to different parts of the plant, and it also carry food from leaves to other parts. It stores excess food. It also gives support to the plant. Leaves prepares food by the process of photosynthesis. It helps in transpiration and also helps in exchange of gases. Flower attract pollinators to aid pollination. We know pollinators may be honeybees or butterflies. They are attracted towards the color or smell of the flower. Then fruits helps in dispersal of seeds. Certain animals or birds eat the fruits and helps in dispersal of seeds. Seeds help in the formation of new plants by the process of germination. Then the plant have two systems. They are root system and shoot system. Root system grows below the soil and it grows towards gravity and opposite to sunlight. Shoot system consists of stem, leaves, fruits, etc. and it grows above the soil. Shoot system grows against gravity and towards sunlight. First one is root system. Root system represents the underground part of the plant. There are two types of root systems. They are tap roots and fibrous roots. Tap roots mainly occur in dicots, while fibrous roots occur in monocots. Sometimes roots of some plants modified to perform additional functions like food storage, support, climbing, absorption of food from host plant, respiration, etc. We can see some of the storage root here. They are beetroot, radish, carrot, turnip. These roots are modified to store food. Sometimes the root modifies to support the plant. Such roots are called supporting roots. They may be stilt root or prop root. Sugarcane and maize have stilt root. In banyan tree, we can see pillar-like prop roots that support the plant. In certain cases, the root help the plant to climb. We can see climbing roots of pepper, money plant, betel, etc. Sometimes the root help the plant to absorb food. They are mainly seen in parasitic plants like cuscuta. We can see these parasitic roots of cuscuta here. This type of root is called Haustoria. Parasitic roots or Haustoria help the plant to absorb food material from the host plant. Sometimes the roots help in respiration. The plants growing in marshy places or saline lakes suffer from absence of oxygen in the soil. Such plants produce special negatively geotropic roots which grow above the soil, helps the plants in respiration. These roots are called respiratory roots or pneumatophores. Here we can see pneumatophores of Rhizophora. Like roots in some plants, the stem also get modified to perform additional functions such as protection, support and storage of food material. For protection, the stem may be modified into thorns. We can see thorns of bougainvillea and rose here. Sometimes the stem modified for support. They are called stem tendrils. In this picture, you can see stem tendrils of passion flower and wild yam. Sometimes the stem perform food storage function. We can see in potato, ginger and onion, the stem is modified for food storage. In potato it is called tuber. In ginger the stem modification is called rhizome. In onion it is bulb. So far we have discussed about root and stem. The next part we have to discuss is leaf. At first we are going to study about its structure. A typical leaf consists of three parts. They are leaf base, petiole and lamina. The basal part of the leaf that connects it with the stem is called leaf base. Then petiole. The stalk of the leaf is called the petiole. The green expanded part of the leaf is called lamina or leaf blade. The edge of the lamina is known as leaf margin. The petiole enters the lamina as the midrib. The midrib produces branches on either side. They are called the veins. Leaves are of two types. They are simple leaves and compound leaves. A leaf with a simple lamina is said to be simple leaf. For example, hibiscus. A leaf with two or more laminae is called a compound leaf. In a compound leaf, the lamina is known as leaflet or pinna. The simple leaf may be entire or lobed. We can see lobed simple leaf in papaya. There are two types of compound leaves, pinnately compound leaf and palmately compound leaf. The mode of arrangement of leaves on the stem is called phyllotaxy. The phyllotaxy may be alternate, opposite or whorled. In opposite phyllotaxy, two leaves are produced at each node standing opposite to each other. When a single leaf is produced at a node, the phyllotaxy is said to be alternate. When more than two leaves are produced at each node, the phyllotaxy is called whorled. We can see opposite phyllotaxy in Ixora. Alternate phyllotaxy can be seen in hibiscus. In Nerium, we can see whorled phyllotaxy. The arrangement of veins on the leaf is called venation. There are two types of venation, reticulate venation and parallel venation. Reticulate venation is seen on dicot leaves, whereas Parallel venation is seen on monocots. Like roots and stem, leaves are also modified to perform special functions like climbing, defense, and heterotrophic nutrition. The leaves of some weak stemmed plants are modified into structures called leaf tendril. They help the plant in climbing on the support. For example, pea plant. In some plants, the leaves are modified into pointed and curved structures called leaf hooks. These leaf hooks help the plant in climbing. For example, bignonia. Leaves of xerophytic plants like Opensia become modified for defensive purpose into leaf spines. In onion, the scale leaves are fleshy because of the storage of water and food materials. In insectivorous plants like Utricularia and Nepenthes, the leaves are modified to capture insects. In Nepenthes, the lamina become modified into a flask-shaped structure called a pitcher to capture the insects. The basal part of the petiole is flattened like a leaf. The pitcher and the lid are colored. They attract the insects. The digestive enzymes are also secreted inside the pitcher. The function of the pitcher is to capture and digest the insects. Then in the case of Utricularia, the leaves are very much segmented. Some of the segments are modified into bladders. The opening of the bladder is guarded by valve. Some aquatic animals which enter the bladder are unable to come out. Utricularia is a floating hydrophyte. The next part of the plant that we are going to discuss is the flower. Flower is a characteristic reproductive structure of the angiosperm. The flower has 4 whorls. These 4 whorls are arranged on the thalamus. Calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium are the 4 floral whorls. Calyx is formed of sepals. Corolla is formed of petals. Androecium is formed of stamens. Gynoecium is formed of carpels. Calyx and corolla are outer whorls. They are called non-essential whorls because they are not directly take part on reproduction. Androecium and gynoecium are essential whorls as they participate directly in reproduction. This picture shows different parts of a flower. We can see the units of 4 whorls, that is sepal, petal, stamen and carpel. The carpel consists of 3 parts: stigma, style and ovary. Stamen has 2 parts, a filament and anther. The slender stalk of the stamen is called the filament. It bears anther. Anther contains the pollen grains. The 4 floral whorls, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium, are arranged on receptacle or thalamus of the flower. We are moving to another process called pollination. Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from male part of a plant, that is anther, to female part of a plant, that is stigma. Thus it enables fertilization and produces seeds. The pollination is aided mostly by animal or by wind. Pollinating agents are Animals such as insects, birds, bats, water, wind, and even plant themselves. Sometimes self-pollination occurs in closed flower. There, the pollinating agent is plant themselves. Pollination is of two types, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to stigma of the same flower or another flower of the same plant. Then cross-pollination. Cross-pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of the same kind. After fertilization, the ovary of the flower develops into fruits. These fruits contain seeds. Parts of a fruit. A fruit consists of two parts. They are pericarp and seeds. The pericarp is further differentiated into three layers. They are epicarp, mesocarp, and endocarp. Epicarp is the outermost layer. It forms the peel. Mesocarp is the middle layer. It is fleshy and it is the edible portion of the fruit. Then the innermost layer is endocarp. It is rough portion where the seed is accommodated. Fruits are of three types. They are simple, aggregate, and multiple. Single fruits formed from a flower is called simple fruits. Example, lemon. Many fruits formed from a single flower is called aggregate fruits. Example, strawberry. One fruit formed from an entire inflorescence is called multiple fruits. There may be two types. They are sorosis and syngonous. Jackfruit and pineapple are example of sorosis. Fig fruit is an example of syngonous fruit. After fertilization, the ovary of the flower develops into fruit and ovule of the flower develops into a seed. So, seed is a mature fertilized ovule. It contains an embryo and the food it will need to grow into a new plant. The picture here shows the structure of a seed. The seed is enclosed in a seed coat. Generally, the seed coat is double layered. The outer layer is called testa and the inner layer is called tegmen. The embryo has one or two cotyledons. The basal part of the embryo is called radicle and the upper part of the embryo is called plumule. Radicle develops into root and plumule develops into shoot. The part of the embryo just above the point of attachment of cotyledon is called epicotyle and the part of the embryo just below the point of attachment of cotyledon is called hypocotyle. As a conclusion, we can say that plant body consists of root, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits and seeds. Root, stem and leaves helps the plants to absorb and conduct water and minerals and preparation of food. Flowers, fruits and seeds help the plant in reproduction. Root, stem and leaves show different modifications to perform certain additional functions for the plant. Here I have presented a brief discussion about plants. There are so many other things I didn't discuss here. Get more information about plants and increase your knowledge. Thanks for watching.